part.
So as a professor at UNF, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your experiences at UNF and how that helped prepare you for your doctoral program. And in the interest of full disclosure here, Andrew Holt was my very first graduate TA, or one of my first four.
Proudly so, absolutely.
We referred to that group affectionately as the dream team, so I'm not entirely unbiased in my assessment of your career as it's progressed.
Well, thank you.
If you could.
Well, I've had great mentors, of course. So let me talk about UNF, though. Absolutely, I'm a big fan of the University of North Florida. I think in terms of history programs, or really almost any programs, when we talk about northeastern Florida, a population base of what, 1.5 million people, this is it's the real deal. It's the big game in town for those upper level programs. When I was there. You know, I had a history department with 16 or 17 faculty members, all of them with doctorates, many of them from Ivy League schools. I mean, how many professors do you have now that have graduated at least one of their degrees from, you know, an Ivy League school? At least half, two-thirds, yeah. And many of them with PhDs. Or Wisconsin, which is an excellent school, one of the top-rated, you know, public institutions. And also I remember at one point UNF's history department had outpublished, if I remember correctly, if I'm saying this correctly, FSU's. But I'd want to confirm that, I suppose, you know. We should double check that, yeah, absolutely. But even if that's not the case, certainly the UNF historians have been energetic and really done a lot of great work, a lot of great research. And so to be able to go there and take 30 credit hours from all these brilliant, you know, historians who had published all these great books, and then to do a master's degree program and serve as a teaching assistant and learn from, you know, these wonderful historians. And then also I should mention the study abroads, you know, I mean, I got to spend summers in Europe, France, Spain, Portugal, studying medieval history. I got to go to Turkey to study Byzantine history. It was a wonderful experience for Northeast Florida. You know, where else are you going to get that kind of action in Northeast Florida, right? And then this, of course, laid the foundation for me to go on to UF at the University of Florida and work on a PhD there. And I felt from the moment I got there that I was as competitive as anybody else in that program. And it was relatively competitive. You know, they have 150 applications each year. They only accept, you know, maybe 30, and they only fund about 10 or 12 of those. And but I got funding, and like I said, I didn't feel like I skipped a beat. I felt like UNF had prepared me wonderfully for, you know, doctoral level studies. So I can't say enough good things about UNF, as you know, David.
Well, I'm going to try to prod you to say a few good things about it.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the study abroad. Is there one particular trip or one particular episode that
wow.
stands out, some moment in your travels that maybe put you on the way towards your doctoral studies or confirmed your interest in history?
Well, the trip to Turkey to study Byzantine history was absolutely fascinating. I had been reading Procopius, the 6th century Byzantine historian.
Good read.
And then when I entered Hagia Sophia, the great cathedral that was a mosque and today is a museum, that was rebuilt, I should say, in the 6th century, that line from Procopius came back to me. I walked in and I saw this amazing, you know, structure, this enormous structure, and I thought of that famous line, "Oh Solomon, I've outdone you," you know, and I thought, wow, I'm really experiencing this firsthand. And
I have a different line from Procopius memorized.
There are a few, aren't there? So, absolutely. Procopius also wrote a secret history, we should say, that had all the dirt and gossip. But getting back, though, to your question, but of course, we also traced a little bit of the way of St. James at one point from France into Spain and another study abroad. And I know you lead these masterful study abroad expeditions, and I hope our students would get involved in those and go off to Europe and study with you over the summer. It's a great way to get all these credit hours. And so, you know, when I have students here at FSCJ, and if they express any inkling in history, you know, I want to talk to them and I want to explain to them. And one final thing I should say, UNF offers a master's degree in history where if students qualify for it, they can become teaching assistants, which I was. and it'll pay their tuition, or most of it at least. It will also offer them opportunities to go on study abroads as a teaching assistant, and at least it did when I was there. And then you can complete your master's degree, mostly debt-free, but also have 2 years of college-level teaching experience, leading these discussion sections on Friday morning with college freshmen. And so it's a wonderful sort of bang for your buck, but in addition to that, it's a wonderful experience to really start to learn about graduate-level history and the processes involved and what historians actually do.